Well, anyway, okay, so, saan ba tayo? Tibia and fibula, no? Uh, so, ang trick nito na, if you look at the human skeleton, this is highly peculiar skeleton in the sense we are the only animal in the entire animal kingdom who opted to be bipedal, especially if we talk of the class Mammalia, no? Or if we talk of the order primates, we are the only primate extant that opted to be bipedal. If you look at the human history in terms of our evolutionary past, we can only trace, let's say, bipedalism as early as the Australopithecus afarensis. It's not Lucy, but Australopithecus afarensis, which is about 3.6 to about 4 million years ago, strong evidence that they have been walking in two. And the problem is, what was the impetus for walking in two when it is not the most efficient way of locomotion? So let's say if it's speed, we know that the fastest Olympian, which is yung Olympic record of 100-meter dash, about 9.6, 9.7 seconds, will never outrun the fastest quadruped, which is okay. Or if we talk of stability, we know that a table with 4 legs is definitely more stable than a table with 2 legs. So what happened? What was the primary pressure for walking in two? So I want you to look into the different hypotheses on bipedalism and what would be the most probable explanation for our ancestors dealing with the adaptation. Okay, if you look at the chimp skeleton, or if you think of the carabao or the dogs or the cows, these are the quadrupeds. And basically, if you look at our skeleton, this is definitely adapted from a quadruped skeleton. And you could clearly see the adaptive design that our skeleton have to be able to be comfortable with a bipedal posture. Okay, one is the vertebral column. One of the things that you should always remember, it's easy to understand your skeletal system if you always remember the Wolff's law, double F, which states that bones will be produced where it would be needed. And you lose it if it's not needed in the area. And basically, this is a skeletal system that's highly adapted to bipedalism. And there are also lots of primates that would venture land and would occasionally be biped but human beings are defined by anthropologists as the habitual bipeds. So we are the only animals that are habitually bipeds. Let's say the some Sipacus monkeys, some prosimians, baboons would normally every now and then would walk in twos. Gorillas and the chimpanzees are what? Sometimes they walk on twos, but generally they are they're knuckle walkers. They walk propping their upper body with their knuckles. Okay, so what would be the basic problems of a body that used to be like this na naging ganyan? You will be what? Ano yung basic force that you have to deal with? Gravity. Gravity is a basic problem. That's why if you look at, let's say, it's so easy if to determine, let's say, quadrupeds from bipeds. So think of the vertebral column of a snake. So ang snake ay practically flat. I want you to look at the skeletal system as an adaptive structure. And if you do that, and you look at the biomechanics of our body, it's so easy to understand the whys of a lot of things in your skeleton. Okay, one is, let's say, the vertebral column. Ano yung vertebral column ng snake? If you look at the body of the vertebral column of the snake, ano yung, nakakita na kayo ng buntas ng mga puntok. No? So what will be the...
Straight.
Yeah, the base, straight, and what else? If we talk about the body of the vertebrate, almost the same on size. Bakit? Kasi pare-pareho yung gravitational force. They're flat. No. So, ano mangyayari kung ganyan? This one would carry this one. This one would carry this one. So, you have an increasing weight as you go down. And how did our body adapt to that?
The curve.
So, you could easily arrange your, if you have excavated, let's say, a vertebral column, you could easily arrange the order of the different vertebrae by simply looking at the body of the vertebrae. So, this is actually highly adaptive. And what else? You could just imagine if you have a straight vertebral column, the force is tremendous. And you include the body movement, and you could just imagine the pressure. And you include the weight of the head, you include things that you carry, you could just imagine the pressure. But still, okay, so ano pa yung mga adaptive? So instead of coming up with a real straight vertebral column, our body, remember that the body would always adapt. But adaptation will only be to the extent that the body would allow. So, what is the allowable adaptive structure that our vertebral column could do? By simply displacing some of the weights. So we have the almost S-shaped vertebral column, technically known as the lordosis. And we have two of them, the upper and the lumbar lordosis. So, if you look at your vertebral column, you have weight displacement here and weight displacement here. And the joint of your vertebrae would only allow minor movements. So if you look at your body, you would have a sheath covering the joint with a little fluid, parang lubricant, and the cartilaginous pad. The thing is, as you go down here, there will be a tremendous pressure in this area. And that's exactly why most human beings, as you grow older, you have what? Lower back pain. That's some of the that's some of the wages we have to pay for being biped. By the way, okay, for your benefit, how would you what are the natural remedies for your lower back pain? So if you have force here, so why is that so? Because the weight is here and here. So you are exerting so much pressure in here, and our body would have this kind of tendency because of this lordosis. And how would you, okay, tingnan nyo. What would be the, what could you do to deflect this weight? Huh? Lie down, yes, that's one.
Hold your hip. Squat more a little.
Actually, it's more to hold your body straight. And how do you do that?
Posture.
Ano yung, ano niya? Here. Yung weight mo dito.
Bend forward.
No, you don't, I mean, it would be funny if you walk bending forward. Or when you sit down, well, that's one. But actually, wala kang ano. How would you do that? To hold your, so you have to strengthen your abdominal muscles. If you have strong abdominal muscles, you normally lose your lower back pains. So,